this is kind of the existing also the dilemma that all of the lawmakers they have. Yeah, what we have in our corporations, the dilemma is how to merge all of these evolving regulations. Yeah, and we need to make distinctions between the guidelines or frameworks that are not binding unless this is really sector specific, and binding rules. Yeah, so first misconception is that some of the in some of the jurisdictions this is just the guidelines, so is the soft regulations. Yes, when we look in the future-oriented way.
And I think one of the questions that we also need to ask also, how do we legally define AI harm in a context for any country? Because the AI can be, it may be tied to something like, for example, the picture that he brought or he showed on his Facebook post, right, was about a girl crying in a war-torn zone. So of course, immediately we think.
Now, when we talk about the legal function, one of the critical aspect of any a multinational organization, and I'll share my experience based on a multinational organization, is to have a very comprehensive AI governance policy, which the organization should adopt, right? And an AI governance council as well. So
I think, as Amit also shared, the transparency and accountability in addressing how you want to address some of the gaps. If you have an organization which is within the regulated industry like banking and finance, or in the healthcare, or in hospitality, and
now that being my personal experience, just connected, and when I was listening to all of them, I just thought, the problems of life are similar for all of us. AI is just an enabler, right? In my case, my symptoms, are just one of the reasons. At the end of the day, I need to be healed. I need to, whatever may be a challenge that needs to be corrected, right? Through a procedure or whatever be the case.
What are the most significant emerging regulatory trends or proposed laws that organizations should be monitoring when developing and deploying AI, particularly concerning generative AI models?
Organizations developing and deploying AI for APAC market must closely monitor the laws and regulations across APAC is what I feel, often adopting comprehensive and proactive approaches, particularly for generative AI. So first and foremost of China's initiative is the generative AI measures, which was effective from 2023. China was one of the first countries globally to implement specific regulations for generative AI services.